to Valley Voices. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. I hope you all are having a great Saturday. If you're watching us on the webcam, you haven't come to the wrong place. This is me, Christina Wagner. You haven't tuned in to a sports show. Today I'm wearing a baseball cap, for those of you that aren't watching on the webcam. My morning started off at 7 a.m. with a move, and I'm so grateful for some of the guys that helped out from Xeriscapes. You know, one of the things that I learned early on in radio is that you have to make the most of every minute. And that's what these guys at Xeriscapes were doing for me today when they were helping us move. They were moving so fast. And if you're with an HOA or a property management company and you're looking for some help with your landscape, I urge you to connect with Xeriscapes.com. All their contact information is there. These guys were hustling so fast, and I kept telling them, stop, drink some water, relax, and they got it done in more time than I thought it would have taken a lot longer, but they got it done, and I want to say thank you to all those guys because they worked so hard. If you're tuning in for the first time to the Valley Voices, let me let you know what this show's about. It's all about the good stuff. It's about the good things going on here in the Valley. The concept for this show started 2 years ago when SB 1070 happened. And I know that it's currently in the news again because the justices just heard arguments for that. And I don't want to go there. This isn't about politics. But what it is about, it's about the fact that when that happened, people from all over, national media, when they started looking at and talking about Arizona, it was for SB 1070 and, those crazy people out in Arizona. Well, you know what? To live out here in Arizona in 120 degrees weather, we're probably a little bit crazy, but there's a lot of really good stuff happening in the Valley. And this show is about bringing in those people that are doing good things here in the Valley. Sometimes I bring in outside people. I'm a mom, and sometimes when we bring outside people in to talk about what they're doing, I'm also reminded in my daily life that I also have to sometimes advocate and help give a voice to other people. And I'm going to share a quick story with you. This past week, I had a couple situations at both of my kids' schools where they almost got in-school suspension. Now, let me tell you, they're good kids. They didn't do anything wrong. And it took me stepping in to the principal at the junior high and reminding him, wait a second, my son's on an IEP. He's not supposed to do that. He did nothing wrong. He's not supposed to be in school suspension. The response was, thank you for that. My daughter, recently, Friday, almost got dress coded. And I got to tell you, Dobson High, I'm calling you out because you guys have a couple crazy dress code issues over there. My daughter was wearing a sundress, and apparently there was skin showing. And they called me and said, your daughter's been dress coded. You need to come pick her up, or you need to bring her clothes. I said, look, she's got a jacket in her bag. Just let her put that on. No, she can't do that. According to dress code violation, you can't put something over the dress code. I said, look, I can't come. They said, all right, we'll give her a T-shirt to put the T-shirt over it. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Where is the common sense in that? And that's what I said to them. Okay, so I just had to get that off my chest. It's been really... There was no common sense there. But when I talk about giving a voice to others, that's something that Dolores Seawright has done really, really well. I met Dolores Seawright. She's a coach. She's an author of a book, Shattering Barriers. And Dolores, I want to thank you for inviting me to be a part of your book. When I was invited to be a part of this amazing book with women that I'm honored to be in this great company with these women. And I have two of those women here in studio with us. When Dolores asked me to share my story, I shared a portion of that story. And one of the things that I learned early on in my recovery, which is what my story is about. My story is all about my recovery from addiction and coming back from that. But when I learned in my recovery about barriers, I learned that I could share the information that I wanted to. And barriers aren't just about keeping people out. It's not just about that gated community, but it's also about protecting yourselves. So in order to protect myself with Dolores, I shared a portion of the story. And then what happened, Dolores?
Christina, thank you for having me on the program this morning. And I remember that you came to me about 6 months after our initial interview, and you said, Dolores, I've made a decision. I want to go public with my story, and I'd like to share that with you. And we sat down and did a second interview. And when we did that interview, I remember, Christina, there were tears, but there was also a feeling of I'm free. And you told me that. You said, I hope my story, by sharing that with others, will help them realize that if you can ask for help, that there is help out there, and that all of a sudden you no longer had to worry about what people would think if they ever learned your story. It's out there. And you shattered barriers that day.
For myself personally as well, because I thought that in order to protect myself, I needed to keep that story hidden. And, I was I'm now the marketing director for Xeriscapes. I was the marketing director for another local news radio station, had a radio show over there. And I thought in order to still be liked and respected, I needed to keep that story hidden. And I was terrified. I was terrified that if people knew my true story, that they wouldn't like me. And I was encouraged by some really helpful people around me to put that story out there, and you did it so well, and I'm so glad that I entrusted you with my story and that you were very respectful with it in the way that you put it out there. For me, what was amazing and what was freeing was that after it was out there, I got open arms from people, and it was wonderful.
Because, and I want to say something, that the addiction was actually a gift. From what the three of us at Mingus Mountain learned yesterday, is that without that gift of the addiction, you have no story. And where would you be right now?
That's so true. And for those of you that are listening, that's Kimberly, another one of the great women that is in the book. You're a actress, a speaker, the
list is long because I like to try everything. So yes, I'm an actress, producer, journalist, writer, and I also want to thank Dolores because yesterday we went to Mingus Mountain to speak to the youth, the troubled youths, and on the drive back I thought to myself, where would I be right now in this current moment without meeting Dolores Seawright and having the opportunity to be in her book? Because from a year ago now, my life is so much richer and fuller, and I'm touching lives that I never thought possible, and making a difference in a world that needs help.
And so, Dolores, when you decided to write the book, I want to, before we jump too far ahead, I want to go back to the book. When you decided to write the book, what were you thinking?
Christina, thank you for asking that, because I think back after my breast cancer diagnosis in 2005, I made some changes in my life, and I stepped away from that corporate job that I had been in for more than 20 years, and I loved that job, but I decided that I had to leave, and I wanted to do something to give back to the community. And I looked for organizations and began volunteering as a career coach at Fresh Start Resource Center here in the Phoenix metro area. And I was working with women who were truly getting a fresh start in their life. And when I was working with them, I came to the realization there were a couple things that they all needed. They needed to believe that they could start over and achieve some success in their life, and they needed a helping hand. And so as I was working with them, I started thinking, gee, I would love to write a book that they could use as a resource. And I wanted it to be a book that they could relate to and share and read the stories of other women who had overcome some really, in many cases, severe obstacles in their life and move forward. And I wanted to combine those stories with practical lessons that they could just sit down right there in the book and start doing those lessons. And so that's where the motivation and the idea for the book initiated, and then I started looking for the women who had these stories.
Well, when we're about to go to we're going to go to a 2-minute break now. When we get back, we're going to learn more about these stories. You're listening to The Valley Voices on NBC1260.com.
A National Business Incubation Association study found that a startling 87% of business incubator graduates are still in business 5 years later. Want to have that same expectation of success for your startup or early stage business? CEI, the Center for Entrepreneurial Innovation, is a community-based business incubator at Gateway Community College. CEI provides business incubation programs and services to both resident clients and non-resident affiliate clients and makes available many of its business development and entrepreneurship programs to the community. Startup businesses can take advantage of targeted business services and proactive business support in technology development, compelling markets and opportunities, entrepreneurial and managerial talent development, early stage capital sourcing, education and training, coaching, and business counseling. For more information, contact Jack Irving at 602-286-8953. That's 602-286-8953.
At the Fram Proving Grounds, we impose harsh punishment on Fram filters. We explode them, we pound them, we crush them. But we don't do it because we've got a mean streak. We do it to make sure they can take the road's punishment and still help protect your engine. Like Fram Extra Guard, built to protect 3 times better than average economy filters. So don't unfairly punish your car with a cheaper filter. Give it tested, proven Fram Extra Guard. Fram, don't fail your engine. See serious punishment at fram.com.
Live from Progressive.
Flo here. Let's take another question.
Hi, Flo. I saved a ton of money with Progressive's discounts.
Great, but that's not really a question.
Oh, you're right. I saved a ton of money with Progressive's discounts?
Still not quite right, but you get the idea. Progressive makes it easy to save.
Right.
Discounts for safe driving, owning a home, and more. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates, Mayfield Village, Ohio. Prices vary based on how you buy. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
If you're up early, so are we. Entertaining talk radio.
Winning.
Hear us on 1260 AM and 96.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Valley Voices. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. We were just listening to Dolores C. Wright was telling us all about her book. And Dolores, the book can be found on DoloresCWright.com.
That's correct.
Okay, so
it is available on Amazon. Shattering Barriers, Amazing Women's Journeys to Personal Empowerment.
And we have 2 of those amazing women here. Well, actually, we have 4 amazing women at this table right here.
We do. And I'd like to ask CiCi Berardi if she would share just a little bit of her story. I met CiCi at a networking event, and I was telling her about my product and what I was doing, writing Shattering Barriers. And CiCi said to me, do you know that I only have a 5th grade education? And I'm also the owner of 4 businesses. And so CiCi and I sat down. She shared a little bit of her story, and I'd like for her to share some of that with you today. CiCi.
First of all, I would like to say thank you, Christina, for introducing me to Dolores at that wonderful network event. Show and also an award ceremony to recognize the community people here in Arizona. And I just feel as though they need to be recognized. And after the Shattering Barrier Red Carpet event that we had December the 1st, I just thought that it was more and we needed to come together. And I just felt like instead of talking about it, I wanted to do something. So I just started, and here we are. I have so many amazing people coming in my life right now.
Well, and it doesn't surprise me because you're definitely not someone that I think of as a talker. You are definitely someone that is a doer. And this is an opportunity for businesses to come to this event, network with each other, and and there's actually sponsorship opportunities available.
Get to know each other. Share Some Love is just about coming and support each other product, your business, and we're really just one. Really, small businesses, people, entrepreneurs, we just should come together and show some love. It's just about sharing the wealth. We have enough businesses here to share and to make each other businesses work. I'm trying to figure out why. Does it take a 5th grade education, to figure that out or what? It's just that we just need to just get together, even if we have to talk, network, get our families together, get to know each other from the heart.
So will businesses do they have that opportunity to have a table there?
Yes, we have vendor booths that's available. We have 25 more. It's going fast. We're going to have 50. We're trying to get all the neighborhood people. We're going into nursing homes, schools, trying to get everyone out. It's going to
So
be fun.
if someone is listening, and what are the booth spaces running for? What's the cost?
Well, we have a Show Some Love booth that starts at $150. Then we have others that goes up to $250, and the highest is $395.
Okay. And the thing that I love about the backdrop, because I'm all about the backdrop. I mean, this is the Scottsdale International Auto Museum is this beautiful car museum. I mean, there are just amazing cars there. What is the square footage of that facility? I mean, it is huge.
78,000 square feet.
It is huge. So you can come out, you can bring your kids. It's a family event. Is it free or is there a cost?
It's a free event.
It's a free event.
Yes.
So you can. And it's going to be hot out that day, so
yes. We're going to have food and soft drinks.
Now, you also, let's talk about, recently you were honored at the Big Brothers Big Sisters. What was that about?
Well, they're actually presenting me with an award for actually volunteering for Big Brother Big Sisters for 6 years, and that will be at the Prescott Resort in Prescott, Arizona, May the 8th at 1 o'clock. Okay. I'm really excited about it. I had this one child for the whole 6 years. Her name is Mickey, and we're very close. I'm just so happy to be making a difference in her life.
Now, does she know your story?
No, she does not, but she hears a little. But one day, maybe she will get to know. She will be 17 years old, so she's learning really fast.
And how's she doing?
Oh, she's great. She's so excited about going to California next weekend to see her family.
That's fantastic.
So I'll be seeing her May the 5th.
Now, what was the idea for Show Some Love Celebration? I mean, when did you decide? And here's the thing that I want to understand better, because since I've known you, you've got a marketing company.
Oh God.
I mean, you have so many different things that you do. I mean, no wonder you're so tight going.
I'm 6 tonight because I have so much going on. It's just that I feel like I've been in some kind of trance all my life, and like I was telling Dolores, you gave us legs. We're just I'm just everywhere. I'm actually building my business in Philadelphia, PhillyStyleToday.com. That's just about community and love. That's all in business and sharing. So I'm just really excited about everything. With You Go Boy, I finally made the 5th year of struggling and finally getting it to where I need it to be. And the window and door business, Windows and Doors Arizona, it's just, I just can't be more blessed right now. All the love and everything is just happening at one time.
And I love, for those of you that don't yet know CiCi Berardi, she's one of the most positive, most upbeat, loving people that I know. So it makes a lot of sense that you're doing this Show Some Love celebration. For the details, you can go to showsomelovecelebration.com, and I urge you to come out with your family May 18th. It's from 12 to 9, and also there are sponsorship opportunities available for you. We have a caller on the line, Cheyenne. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I'm calling in because I work at Chandler Gilbert Animal Hospital, and one of our technicians had a house fire. She lost everything in her home, and she has a younger son. So what I'm doing is I put together a dog and car wash for May 6th at the Circle K on Gilbert and Queen Creek. It's on the southwest corner. We're going to be out there from 8 to 1.
Okay.
So it's just donation only. So
give the date one more time.
May 6th at Circle K on Gilbert and Queen Creek.
All right. We will get the word out. Thank you.
Thank you.
I posted on Facebook that I wanted to do this Christina's Silver Lining, and while that story isn't yet a silver lining, because, obviously they're dealing with the wreckage of a house fire, which I've had that happen to me, and it's devastating when you lose everything. I'm really hoping that on the other side of this there is a silver lining. So hopefully we've got Cheyenne Martinez's information, and we can follow up with her and find out how that went. Okay, so back to you, Miss CiCi Berardi. Let's see, what else? Philly Style Today. Recap. How did that start, and what is it about?
Well, Philly Style Today is just
Gina's team, which is a nonprofit here in the Valley area, and they advocate help for the women that are within the prison system in Arizona.
So what was that experience like for you both?
I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I'm going to share one story with you, Christina, because as we went in, we had some of the women that belonged to a gavel club that were at Perryvale. They were inmates there, and they came up, they had done their homework, and they were prepared to individually introduce each one of us as speakers. And after the program, one of them came up to me, and she gave me a huge hug. And she said, 5 years from now, I'm going to do what you're doing. And I thought to myself, that is so amazing, because she's doing the things right now to prepare herself for that day she walks out of there free. She has set a goal, and she's getting the training that she's going to need when she's on the other side.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. And CiCi, what was that experience like for you?
Well, it's all healing for me, because these girls have they're actually giving me the motivation to want to help more of them, because as I look at them, I look in their eyes, and it's just and I think that they never had the opportunity of anyone asking them of how they needed help, and I just know that I just feel like they inspire me.
All right, thank you for that. We are going to go to our 2-minute break. You are listening to The Valley Voices. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, call in 480-423-1260. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
A National Business Incubation Association study found that a startling 87% of business incubator graduates are still in the business 5 years later. Want to have that same expectation of success for your startup or early stage business? CEI, the Center for Entrepreneurial Innovation, is a community-based business incubator at Gateway Community College. CEI provides business incubation programs and services to both resident clients and non-resident affiliate clients, and makes available many of its business development and entrepreneurship programs to the community. Startup businesses can take advantage of targeted business services and proactive business support in technology development, compelling markets and opportunities, entrepreneurial and managerial talent development, early stage capital sourcing, education and training, coaching, and business counseling. For more information, contact Jack Irving at 602-286-8953. That's 602-286-8953.
Every day, businesses lose critical customer and financial data as a result of cybercrimes, human errors, and natural disasters. Barracuda Networks, the world leader in content security, application delivery, and data protection, with more than 130,000 customers worldwide, can help. Barracuda Backup Service combines local backup and deduplication for rapid restores with data storage in the cloud for fail-safe disaster recovery. Protect your critical data. Visit barracuda.com/backup to try Barracuda Backup Service free for 30 days. That's barracuda.com/backup.
The Home Depot has made a special buy on Scott's Earthgrow Mulch. 3 bags are just $10. It holds its color all season long without fading. It's just one of the many special buys on spring essentials at the Home Depot, where you always get more spring per dollar. A beautiful garden that stays that way starts with 3 bags of Scott's Earthgrow Mulch for only $10. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only. See store for details.
Arizona Gun Radio invites you to come out to the Phoenix Gun Show. That's today at the Swap Smart at I-17 and Camelback Road. Get in the car, drive on over. Join us. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Valley Voices. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. We've been talking to Dolores Seawright, CiCi Berardi, Kimberly, three of the women that actually the author of Shattering Barriers, and then two of the women that were in the book Shattering Barriers, along with myself. You know, it's interesting. When the first story that I shared with Dolores was my story of losing 80 pounds. And it's a good story. You know, it's definitely a story that a lot of women could relate to. The woman that helped me to shed those 80 pounds is Tammy Jacobs. And Tammy is on the line right now. She calls into our Fit Tip line every week because I think sharing fitness tips and getting people to get healthy is so important. Tammy, thank you for allowing us to pull you away from your important work of getting people healthy and fit.
Well, I'm so glad to be here.
I know it's been a few days since you've seen me, and I'm sorry.
We're going to have a much better week this week, aren't we?
We are, and I got to tell you, having done this move today, I got a great workout.
Good.
Thank you. So what is what is the tip for everyone today?
Well, we're talking this week, and I'd like to ask the members, you know, what are your concerns, and their concern is what the proper intensity to work out with. And if you're exercising at 150 minutes per week of moderate cardiovascular exercise, so walking, biking, Zumba, swimming, steps, any of those things, that will be good. But we also have to have 75 minutes a week of vigorous, harder activity. And so you want to be almost breathless to make sure that you're getting the time in necessary to lose weight. We all know that our body slowly degenerates, so exercising only 3 times a week is going to help you maintain where you are right now. But if you're looking to make changes, we need to increase that intensity. So get ready, Christina. This week it's going to be a tough one for you.
That was the underlying of what I heard in all of that. Yeah, I read between the lines there.
Yay!
Let me ask you a question. I hear a lot of radio ads that advocate, you know, how much weight you can lose in such a short period of time, and I want to know what's a healthy amount of weight. And the reason I'm asking is for everyone that's thinking, you know, the weather's heating up, bikini season is right around the corner. How much weight can you lose in a month?
A safe weight loss is going to be about 2.5 pounds a week. When you think that 1 calorie or 1 pound is about 3,500 calories. So if you're eating, let's say, 1,500 calories a day, and you're exercising 300, 400 calories a day, then that will give you that caloric intake deficit of about 2.5 pounds a week, and that will be safe, smart, effective.
Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate that. And for everyone listening that would like to connect with Tammy and visit her at her gym, it's at Pecos and McQueen. And, you know, I want to let all of our listeners know, go to resultshealthandfitness.com, stalk them on Facebook. They have the best information on their page. I actually drive past about 3 different gyms on my way. It's not right around the corner from my house. I go out of my way to get to Tammy, and there's nowhere else in the valley that I could imagine going because at her 5'0", she is the hardest working trainer that I know. Thank you, Tammy.
Well, thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Okay. Love that lady. Okay, so we are going to a 2-minute break now. You're listening to NBC 1260. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. This is the Valley Voices.
A National Business Incubation Association study found that a startling 87% of business incubator graduates are still in the business 5 years later. Want to have that same expectation of success for your startup or early stage business? CEI, the Center for Entrepreneurial Innovation, is a community-based business incubator at Gateway Community College. CEI provides business incubation programs and services to both resident clients and non-resident affiliate clients and makes available many of its business development and entrepreneurship programs to the community. Startup businesses can take advantage of targeted business services and proactive business support in technology development, compelling markets and opportunities, entrepreneurial and managerial talent development, early stage capital sourcing, education and training, coaching, and business counseling. For more information, contact Jack Irving at 602-286-8953. That's 602-286-8953.
And now Geico presents 30 Seconds with Maxwell the Pig.
Maxwell, you're on.
Cool. And so you just want me to read the script? You don't want me to do the we thing? Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about the new Geico mobile app and how you can manage your policy and get your ID card and customize it with your favorite Geico character. But I'm not yelling we or anything because they don't want me to, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just saying it's my thing.
Everything you love about Geico, now mobile. Download the new Geico app today.
In a world of greasy, grimy, and gritty grills, Grill Groomer's safe, eco-friendly steam vapor barbecue cleaning service will make your grill look like new. Call today for a free estimate at 1-855-GRILL GROOMERS. You cook, we clean. And because you want a clean grill ready for barbecues, get your grill ready by calling Grill Groomers at 1-855-474-5547 or visit them online at grillgroomers.com. Gift certificates are available. It's the perfect gift for family and friends. Call 1-855-GRILL GROOMERS now.
If you're up early, so are we. Entertaining talk radio.
Winning.
Hear us on 1260 AM and 96.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Valley Voices. I'm your host, Christina Wagner. You've been listening to the Valley Voices. Dolores, let's talk about Kimberly. Like she's not here.
I remember using the words at the December 1st awards ceremony, have you ever been touched by an angel? And that's what I think about when I think about Kimber. And that goes back to part of the story that she shared with me when she was very young and an experience that happened to her that guided her life. And Kimber has had a very, very interesting life. She's had a lot of difficulties that she has had to overcome, barriers that she has had to shatter, one of which was being a flight attendant on a flight that was a dry run Al-Qaeda flight. And she has moved on beyond that and shattered additional barriers as she moved into the film industry in Arizona. Kimber, would you like to share some of your story with our listeners today?
Sure. It all began when I was at the age of 5. The most incredible barrier to overcome was the deaths of my 2 brothers and my mother, who all committed a form of suicide. And when that happens, the people that are left behind, and I'm beginning to tell this story more and more, but it never becomes any easier to tell. But what happens with suicide is the people that commit it, and God only knows what happens to them, but they're in a different place where you are left as the one here on the earth. The world becomes very, very dark, and you learn fear, and you learn that there's just no love. Because if a mother and your siblings who claim that they love you can leave you so quickly and so selfishly, then what does that say for the rest of the world? So I ran away from home looking for that love from the streets and people and places and things, and kept running into a wall, and learned very quickly that I had to pick myself up by my own britches and make my life work for me. But I had an experience as a child that I was in a white light, and I was told that I would become a flight attendant and an actress. And telling a 5-year-old child that in the middle of a snowy street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you're alone, and how do you get from that being told to that place? So I I guess what happened for me is I just believed. And in your book, Dolores, that was the chapter that you wrote for me, was about believing. And I somehow I guess I'm called a miracle because I trusted and believed. And I had an amazing, amazing journey. It's all in Dolores's book. But I am right now a 21-year retired flight attendant. I had a very successful, wonderful career with America West Airlines, and I retired under U.S. Airways, which, by the way, I'm from Pittsburgh and always wanted to work for U.S. Air. But and that's their home base is Pittsburgh, but I got to retire under them, so my life came full circle.
You know,
for me,
we've been talking about angels, and it just so happens that we have an angel on the phone line.
They do.
So, Angel.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi.
I wanted to call and tell each and every one of you personally, your stories are amazing, and that it's a delight. And you give me the courage every day to continue on, and I am so honored to know each one of you and to work with you. And I want to just thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it, and thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Thank you. Wow, I have chills over every part of my body. This is good stuff. Good stuff on the Valley Voices. Thank you, Angel, for calling in.
This is just unbelievable. Yeah, because I'm looking at the monitor and it says line 1 Angel. So thank you for that caller, and also for my personal angel.
You're beautiful and you're wonderful. Thank you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you have coming up. You've got Phoenix Comic-Con, a film festival, and what is your role going to be in that?
Yes, I somehow my angel led me into the film community, and this is not Hollywood, Phoenix, Arizona. However, it doesn't matter about location. A location can be anywhere. So there's this wonderful independent film community that we have here in Arizona, and there are many, many festivals. The particular one that you're speaking of is the Phoenix Comic-Con Film Festival. They have it every year, Memorial Weekend, and I was invited to sit on the panel of female filmmakers to share my experiences. I have 6 films that were submitted to Comic-Con for this Memorial Weekend. 2 of them are full feature lengths, and one of them is one that I actually directed, and another one that I produced, and some of them that I star in. So I figured if 6 got sent in, maybe one of them will get selected.
That's amazing.
So, but because and then they invited me to be on the panel to talk about my experiences.
Your experiences as
in the film community,
in the filmmaking,
in the film industry, yes.
So let's talk about how is it that you go from being a flight attendant to having 6 films in the Phoenix Comic-Con. How make the leap for me.
Okay. In 1995, as a flight attendant, America West Airlines at the time was having a audition call for their major commercial for national, and I went and auditioned. Never auditioned before, but all I knew is that 5-year-old little girl was told she was going to be an actress, so I went. And out of thousands of people, I got selected as one of the leads for the commercial. It aired nationally. That was the most money I'd ever made. I made about $12,000, and that was less money I think I ever from that. But it was an incredible experience. And then suddenly, in the year 2005, and the stories are in the book, but another audition for the film The 49th Line, which was one of the feature films submitted to Comic-Con, was made, and I auditioned again out of hundreds. I got a co-starring role in that film. That film has never left the can. It was made in 2005, and it is now just being given a breath of life. So hopefully it will be a selection for the Phoenix Comic-Con. And from 2005 till now, I've been in over 40 films, and I am an award-winning actress, producer, and journalist. So Intermittently being a flight attendant, I was bouncing back and forth, and then I had a dry run hijacking in September. Or I'm sorry, in May of the year of the actual hijackings, and that was life pushing me to the other phase.
What do you mean a dry run hijacking? How did you know that they were doing a dry run?
Because my route was New York and back in the same day. I was a first-class flight attendant, and there's an acronym that you follow for hijackings. This individual walked on board of international descent. He fit the acronyms and the profile. And right as I was getting ready to shut the door, he shoved me aside and ran off. And I was told the next day, because I did New York and back 3 days in a row, when I went back the following day, the gate agent had told me that he had tried this on 5 other U.S. carriers, and it was a dry run hijacking. And that was in May, and then September 11th happened, and that was too close for me. I don't want to have to look behind my back every day going to work. Am I going to live or die? Mm-hmm. So I knew at that point that my wonderful, loving career, and believe me, that dream was more fascinating than being an actress.
Really? I would think that being an actress is pretty fascinating.
Well, I got to travel the world and see it firsthand.
Now, I want to ask you about the film community here, because in Hollywood it's very clearly defined. This is where is this taking place here? Because I've heard several people say there's quite a film community here. Where are they filming?
Everywhere. There's festivals like the A3F Almost Famous Film Festival run by Jay Stotts. There is the Phoenix Film Festival. There is the Phoenix Comic-Con Film Festival. There are feature films being made all the time here in the independent arena. There are very passionate directors, writers, producers, actors, and we have built this family out of passion, and we are in LA's backyard. My dream is to see it become instead of an underground community, a forefront and a place where people that have dreams can make this community come to life.
Would you want to see it here like it is in Hollywood?
I would like it. Hollywood to me is more celebritized. It's not so much about the art. To me, my opinion, this community is about the art and the passion and the love for the filmmaker. And I'm not saying, I'm not judging Hollywood. I'm just saying I'm not there, but all that I see and all that I read, it's really about celebrity.
Right.
And I don't want to be a celebrity. I want to be a creator of art.
Well, you are a celebrity, whether you like it or not. Now, you are actually a part of a documentary.
Yes.
For Shattering Barriers.
Yes.
Jay Lee is the director?
Yes, and he's in the studio with us right now.
Yes, and those of you that are watching on the webcam, he's hiding. I guess people that shoot film don't like to be on camera. Is that what's going on here? Because he's hiding.
He's the fly on the wall.
He is the fly on the wall. And Kimber's a part of that, or Dolores and...
yes, Jay Lee actually approached me. He thought it would be a fascinating documentary because it is about women, empowerment of women. And so we're working with Dolores because, look, we're women, 26 women in a book. That's great, but we need to touch the millions of women outside of the book. And not everybody's going to have access to the book. And, well, they will have access to the book, but they won't have access to the stories of the women that happened afterwards. Right. So Jay's gonna do this documentary to follow our lives and hope that we reach out and touch those that are afraid to come forward to shatter their own barrier.
Honestly, I continue to be amazed by all that is coming out of this book. I honestly thought that it was just going to be a way for me to get my story out there and let it be out there. And this woman, Dolores, you are quite a marketer and doing so much. You've been on TV, you've been on radio. It can continues to shock and awe me. I thought I was just going to be in a book.
Me also.
Thank you, Christina. And I'd like to mention that one of the things that I am doing moving forward with Shattering Barriers, and the message of the book, is that on my website, which is www.doloresseawright.com, I am going to start doing video interviews of women who have shattered barriers and overcome obstacles in their life. And one of my goals is that other women who were not part of the original book will have an opportunity to share their stories and get their message out there to other women and teach the lesson that, yes, you can overcome. And so there's going to be a tab on the website where you can actually go right online, fill in the blanks, submit your story, and I will be selecting the people whose video I will put on the website, and the person whose video is selected will also get a free copy of the book.
That's great. And I urge everyone to do that. So go to DoloresSeawright.com. That's SERIGHT, Dolores Seawright. You know, you mentioned, Kimber, what has happened to the women after the book. And I would like for each of you to just briefly, and Kimber, if you could start, what have you learned about yourself after being involved in the book?
Okay, that my true calling is really to help other people. I really thought that before the book, I thought life was about me. And that's so very hard to admit. And but that's what I thought. And when Dolores gave me the opportunity to share my story, I realized that the things that happened to me happened because they were gifts, and that my dysfunction in life was to help others. So my true calling really, and what rocks my boat and spins my world, is to help other women, children, and bring awareness to men about the sensitivity of young women and adult women. The female energy of 2012 is amazing.
I love it. CiCi, what is the thing that you've learned about yourself since the book?
Well, I've learned so many, but I guess I can only say a few. Well, I've learned that I had to open up more. I had to be around more positive people. It's just been, as I close every negative door, which I never wanted to admit that I had so many negative people in my life, and it was kind of stopping me from going to where I needed to go. And I had to make a choice. And I just could not use any excuse. I'm in a book under There's No Excuse. So I just didn't want to be another excuse, actually. I've learned just to keep one foot in front of the other and keep moving on. And the more you want positive and the right people, you'll get it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. Dolores, what have you learned about yourself after writing this book?
I think one of the things, Christina, that I always had a dream of, I wanted to share a message and motivate and inspire women that they could do more in their life. And yet, until I wrote the book and had an opportunity to really get out and talk to the media, the people in the community, and share my message, I realized that that message was so powerful that I was able to overcome my fear of public speaking. And there have been so many opportunities now, and it's been an amazing journey for me, personal development wise, but also just the women and the people that have come into my life as a result of this.
I never knew that you had a fear of public speaking.
I'm sharing that today publicly.
That's fantastic. You mentioned about talking to the community, and I know that you briefly, Kimber, touched on this, but the three of you were at Mangus Mountain Academy. What were you doing there, and what is that about?
Yes, that was yesterday up in Prescott, and Mingus.
Wait, isn't it Prescott?
Prescott. Oh,
like biscuit.
Okay. Well, that's my Pittsburgh accent you're listening to. That was, and the three of us went up there. It was an auditorium full of 120 youths that came from very dysfunctional backgrounds, either drug abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental suicides, and we were with Gina's team. We were invited to share our stories to help the youth understand that just because you have a barrier or a dysfunction that you can overcome it. So for me, I knew that I touched their lives when the cameraman came up and sat down next to me and said, "You have touched me with your story."
That's fantastic. What is Mangus Mountain Academy? What is that about?
It's a facility where they house these youths, whether they're runaways, whatever their story is, and they send them to Mangus Mountain to rehabilitate them, to get their lives together, and then from there they can go on to a college course or continue their education. The most amazing thing that I found about this facility is that they housed mostly out-of-state troubled youths because the tax incentives were cut from Arizona. And so the youths here, the troubled youths here, really have no opportunity to utilize this facility for themselves, and that about broke my heart.
The youths here cannot use?
Because I think it costs, what I was told was $35,000 a year or a month, I'm not sure, to run this facility. I think it's per month. And so they use a lot of the tax breaks, the tax incentives. So.
All right, I'm getting that notice that we're at 30 seconds. An hour. This hour sure does fly by, honestly. For everyone that's been listening, thank you for staying tuned. If you missed any portion of the show, the whole show will be shared up on the Facebook page, which you can connect with me at Christina D. Wagner. Christina D. Wagner on Facebook. The website is thevalleyvoices.com. Next week, we'll see you.